Welcome, my name's Jeff Warner. That's my Jeep in the background, and today we're going to show you how you can get a 2020 brand new Jeep for 12 to 13% off of MSRP. I just did this last week, and I'm going to show you how it's done. Let me just say, I despise dealing with car dealers. It's really the least favorite thing I have to do anywhere. It's just not any fun. They take up tons of your time. They won't deal with you. They're passing you off to multiple people. They're getting to the end of the deal and adding on dealer ads, like $200 set of locking lug nuts that you can go buy at an auto parts store for about 40 bucks, which those don't work, by the way, anyway. Just search YouTube. That's a whole different story. But I've taken locking lug nuts off my own car because I lost the lock in 30 seconds with a socket. Anyway, whole different story there. You can go take a look at YouTube, find that stuff out. But when I went on the search to find my new Jeep Wrangler, I went to multiple dealers here in DFW, searched everywhere, contacted people over the internet, literally walked into two different dealers ready to make a deal and just couldn't get a deal done. They just don't want a deal. I bought my new 2020 Jeep Wrangler for significantly less than anybody wanted to sell me a lesser equipped 2019 at the end of the model year. So I just bought this vehicle in October and paid for it. It's brand new 2020, ordered it the way I wanted it, got the color I wanted, the accessories that I wanted, everything on it just the way I wanted. And the only thing I had to give up, I had to wait 6 weeks for it to come in, and I had to fly to Nampa, Idaho to get it. So let's talk about why I decided to go to Nampa to buy a new Jeep. Here's the Google map. Nampa is 1,600 miles away from the Dallas-Fort Worth area where I live. It's a 24-hour drive if you were to drive it straight through. So why did I go to Nampa? Well, there's multiple factors and multiple reasons why I went up there. So let's chat about them. So reason number one, I simply got a great deal. I really did save 12 to 13% off of MSRP, and I'll show you those numbers a little bit later in the video and how they look, but it's true. I got a better deal, a far better deal than I could get anywhere in this DFW area. And it was a no haggle. There were no gimmicks. There were no tricks. They sent me the pricing, gave me the paper up front. And when I went up to buy it, I was skeptical. I thought I might get up to Nampa at this dealership, and then I'm going to go through the same thing I'm used to going through with car dealerships around DFW. But they have changed the model. I did, in fact, get a great deal. So reason number two that I decided to go to Nampa and buy a Jeep is that I was able to order the Jeep with all the options that I wanted. Just like any other car, there are loads of options available. And I had a lot of trouble finding a vehicle that was equipped exactly the way I wanted with the options that I wanted on it, and none of the options that I didn't want showing up on that car. So I didn't want to pay for things like heated seats. They're expensive. Remote start, like I don't use it. Here in Texas, I was in a cold climate. I'm sure that would be different. But there are other things I wanted, like I wanted the towing package on it, and it was just hard to find a Jeep equipped exactly like I wanted. So I saved a little bit of money just by getting a Jeep that was custom ordered. So that worked out great as well. And a little bonus tip for you here. If you're going to look for a Jeep this way, go out to the Jeep website. It's got some great tools out here. And you can go into shopping tools. You can go into build and price. And you can actually build your Jeep out. You'll see all the options available for your Jeep, all the different engines that are available. And all you have to do is click and build and price, and then use that markup to go order your new Jeep. It's as easy as that. Reason number three, I was simply exhausted from working with the local dealers here in DFW. I went to multiple dealers. I talked to some dealers online. Really had some bad experiences along the way. Spent hours inside of dealerships trying to make deals done. And quite frankly, going back in, once I started looking at the prices I could get up in Idaho, I just had no desire to walk back into a local dealer. I had called some of them. I'd tried to work over email with some of them saying, look, I'm getting this price. Will you match it locally? Didn't get any takers. So I moved on. Quite frankly, flying to Idaho and driving the car back was a far less painful process than dealing with the local dealers. They really, really need to start changing these sales models for cars. And I know some of them are, but some of them still aren't. And they're really, really old school. And literally, there were people charging me for, all these dealer ads that were just absolutely ridiculous and were adding thousands onto my car. And they're throwing those in at the end of the deal, that has nothing to do with the pricing they advertise for that vehicle. And then the reasoning was, well, everybody does it. Well, DFW dealers, everybody doesn't do it. I found someone who doesn't. So for reason number 4, we're going to have to come back to the Google map, because this was really sort of the thing that sealed the deal as much as everything else. When I went and I put this into Google Maps, and I mentioned earlier that this route will change based on when you leave, but this is the route that it returned for me. And if you look at this, I originally thought I was going to get my Jeep sometime in December, so ski season was going to be open. Nampa is 5 hours away from Salt Lake City. If you don't know Salt Lake City very well, this is the home to Park Cities and many, many other wonderful, wonderful ski resorts. If we just zoom in, Google will start showing them. But Alta, Park City, Deer Valley, the canyons is all right here in this area. And really, whether it's winter or not, it's a great place if you love the outdoors. So if you're going to get a Jeep and love the outdoors, there's Jeep trails in those areas. There's great restaurants. They run all kinds of festivals all parts of the year. So I had planned on stopping in Salt Lake City, but the other thing that I had immediately noticed is Moab, Utah was directly on my path. So this is home to Arches National Park, Canyonlands National Park, as well as just the Mecca, or one of the Meccas for Jeep trails. So I literally did drive my Jeep down, and within 24 hours of taking it off the lot, had it on Jeep trails out in Moab. Spent a couple days there, did some hiking in Arches National Park, and it was really, really wonderful. So I would suggest making that. But all this country as you're driving through is just beautiful. You could alter your route and even hit Durango down here if you wanted to. You could alter your route all the way to Colorado. You could take 70. Take chains if you do this in the winter, but if you're not familiar with 70, you could go through Denver. This is where, again, Vail, Breckenridge, all the great ski resorts of Colorado are off of 70. But this is where the pass is, and if it's winter weather, you will have to have chains, not just a four-wheel drive vehicle. If it's bad weather. So I wouldn't risk it unless I knew what I was doing. But you come on down, you can go to, and just coming through Amarillo, you could actually come down here to Palo Duro Canyon State Park. There's pretty nice Jeep outings there. So there's just a lot. This is all really beautiful territory. I actually took 40 all the way across. I wanted to get on Route 66 and over here in the 40 east side of the highway. There's some original road left of Route 66 you can drive, a few little shops. There's a museum here in Clinton for Route 66 you can stop in. So I just made a trip of it, and it turned out to be a pretty epic trip. I'd actually never been into Idaho, so I checked a state off my list, and I hadn't been to either of the national parks there in Moab. So those were all great things that I'm glad I had the opportunity to do. And there's another video on that trip just put together for you guys if you want to kind of plan your trip out, you can take a look at it. Well, let's get down to what you guys all want to know, which is what did I pay for this Jeep? So here's the sticker. I'm going to go ahead and show you that. And over here, MSRP was $52,220. Of course, this is plus TT&L, and they do charge Texas tax and registered in Texas for you. I paid $45,576. The only extra fee that they charge you is $299. So everything that was done, and I did do extras on this Jeep. So they do have a shop there. They give you a break on labor pricing, and this is how they make their money. They sell the accessories. So I put quite a few accessories. I got my Jeep lifted with a Mopar 2-inch lift, put 35-inch Nitto tires on it, did a few other things. But I did do some mods, which they installed on the shop, and it was all ready for me when I got there. And I got a great price on the mods as well. But that's really how they're making their money, is on the add-ons, because the average Jeep customer spends $4,000 to $6,000 on aftermarket and upgrades to their Jeep. So my final savings was $6,345. Really, I couldn't get half of that around Dallas. So, you think about it, getting a Jeep exactly like I want it, saving $3,000, even having to spend maybe $1,000. I didn't spend that because I had travel miles and things. But if you were to buy the flight and spend 2 or 3 nights in a hotel, you could get your car back on the whole trip for less than $1,000. Gas and everything if you wanted to. So final percentage there, it's 12.15%, including the dock fee. It was a really, really great price. And one thing I haven't done is name the dealership in here. I have no affiliation with them. I would just tell you, if you look in Nampa, you'll see a lot of them are doing this. And when I talked to them about how they're doing this, they actually said someone in northern Idaho started it. And it's just a different approach to selling Jeeps. That's all I can tell you. It's real. It happened to me. Look it up. If you look at my website, there will be some pictures of my Jeep, and you can figure out where I actually purchased the Jeep. So that's one way you can kind of figure it out. I don't really want to name names of dealers and isolate any of them. But all new dealers, there's decals on your Jeep. So if you take a look at some of my pictures on my website and maybe some of the other videos, you should be able to figure it out. Anyway, good luck if you decide to go buy a Jeep. I mean, this was all real. Like I said earlier, I was skeptical. I was worried all the way till the time I left that dealership with my Jeep that something was going to go wrong in this deal. But everything was up front. They did exactly what I thought they were going to do. And I hope you have the same experience if you decide to take this route. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like it and subscribe, and have a great, great day.